duck， 这个计算的很准确啊。这也都变了。 还是得垫一点管偶在底下，给它找平一下。我觉得这块也不太行。 米长得可真够 Q 的，这是一个龟壳，好吧，只有10个，或者换算成真的也只有3个。Compose 了吧，直接。
Sleep won't come and you've cried your sum, let it come to you. There's nothing you can do until I see you smile just below those eyes that tell me you're okay. It's written on your face. As you come to light, I come alive. Your silhouette in the summer sky.
这还能自动小屏，你看看，它还不晃。我们可能觉得还是应该做一个 edit。我觉得完全打进去，但是我需要有一些来确保它这个曲线现在不会再动。
Turn your sorrow in, burn every piece of it. Let me comfort you, I'll be your go-to. Cause these are youthful days, we will grow in great, worse or better. Our time is best together. You must know that I love you so. Never bargain you for your weight in gold. And this is only a measure. It can only get better. It can only get better. And this is only a measure. It can only get better. It can only get better. If you're seeing through a single eye, you're missing half of what this world looks like. And I see that only feels half tied. There is more, and I know that it's yours and mine. But this is only a measure. It can only get better. It can only get better. And this is only a measure. It can only get better. It can only get better.